Welcome back to Sports Talk ATL. I am Chase Earl, joined by Jake Gordon and Alex Lord. The first 3 rounds of the MLB Draft were yesterday, and the Braves snuck out like bandits. I mean, listen, I will say it is very hard to evaluate prospect talent in general. So the MLB Draft is very hard. Anyone that tells you they really know anything about any of these guys is lying, because I will tell you 25 maybe out of the first 30 picks are going to bust out and not be that good. But Hurston Waldrep, the number one pitcher out of Florida, was a guy who was a stud for most of the season. His numbers don't look electric. He had some problems with his control, had around a 4 ERA his junior season at Florida, but it's the stuff that makes you excited. I mean, the guy can run it up to 98, 99 miles per hour with the fastball. He's got probably the most devastating off-speed pitch secondary offering in this entire draft class in a splitter, which had a over 68% whiff rate in baseball last year for the Florida Gators. And on top of that, he has a slider that's also very good that spins at over 3,000 RPM. So this guy has 3 pitches plus pitches with arguably maybe the best secondary offering in this entire draft. Fangraphs had him ranked as the number 6 prospect in this entire draft. He goes to the Braves at 24. They say they already have him as a top 100 prospect in baseball. He probably will automatically, I'm not even going to say probably, he will be the second ranked prospect in the Brave system behind AJ Smith-Shawver, who even knows how much longer he will be a prospect. But it's a very exciting guy to get that late in the first round. And when you see like college or, guys that kind of know about this, they're like, how'd the Braves do this? Like, how'd they do this? And that's kind of my reaction. When I saw him there on the board, I was like, this has got to be Waldrep. And it was. I'm very excited about the pick. I didn't think I was going to be this excited about the pick, but this is a guy that if he can harness his control, I mean, he will be in the majors very quickly, like you see with a lot of these other guys the Braves have recently drafted.
Yeah, and a couple notes. Number one, first draft without Dana Brown. Extremely nervous because Dana Brown is one of the architects of this roster. Now he's the GM in Houston. Very happy for him that he got that job, of course. But also 3 college pitchers was a little surprising to me too, because we saw last year they went heavy with high school, trying to refill those lower levels of the minors, just because they don't really need a ton of guys right now. But they went with 3 college pitchers today. And guys, stop freaking out because they're not drafting hitters. That's not how the MLB draft works. A lot of these guys are going to be currency for trades. And if they're not, you can never have enough arms. Did you not learn anything from the John Coppolella era? Come on. We saw 3/4 of those pitchers from the Coppolella era just simply turn into tomatoes. They were awful. And you can never have enough guys like that. And you just want to stack talented players, doesn't matter what position they play. But I think the Waldrep pick it was a huge steal. I know I'm biased, but I mean, that seemed to be the consensus everywhere. They go under slot in round 2, getting Christian Hackenberg's brother. Funny enough, did not know he had a brother that played college baseball. Sinker slider guy, kind of like a Bryce Elder type makeup. And then they get the guy out of Campbell, Cade. His last name's escaping me, but
I think it's cool.
Hard thrower. Really interesting guy. I got an interesting comp for you for Waldrep. Kevin Gausman.
Yeah.
Former Brave, splitter. Nasty splitter, hard fastball.
Yeah, and hopefully with the Kevin Gausman that is now, that was with the Giants and now with the Blue Jays, and not the Kevin Gausman that was with the Braves. But, I think that's a good thing. I mean, listen, I'm very impressed with the Waldrep pitch. I think that was a huge deal. I don't know. Like I said, I prefaced this whole thing. Like, you don't know anything about these guys, but getting a lot of pitchers is a lot easier to trade them. Listen, it was the same reason that the Braves go and draft 3 college arms that I was like, listen, I love Dylan Cruz. I think he's going to be a great pro, but it's the reason why you go to Paul Skeens number 1 overall, because I guess what I can guarantee you, 102 with that kind of location plays every day of the week in the majors. It plays, and he could be in the major leagues tomorrow and he would have decent success. And it's a lot easier to judge those guys that can throw 98, 99 miles per hour than it is to judge a hitter, because those guys are so hit or miss. And that's why you see teams go college arm. Because like you said, you can use them as currency. They always have value until they reach the majors and suck. They always have value, right? And that's what the Braves have done. I mean, you look at the trades that they've sent for Matt Olson and Sean Murphy, like all those arms were highly touted college arms that were good currency in trades. I think the Braves realized before anyone else that, hey, maybe these guys don't have it, like a Spencer Strider and AJ Smith-Shawver or even Bryce Elder. They were willing to move those guys. You get all-stars, and none of those guys have done anything. And that's not to say that they won't, but to this point, they haven't done anything. So
that's a good point. We should check out who the A's drafted and look at our future stars.
I think I think they drafted Jack Wilson in the first round, who's son of Jason Wilson.
No, it's Jacob Wilson, son of Jack Wilson. He used to play for the Pirates, and that
Yeah,
makes
yeah,
me
yeah.
feel a little old because I remember watching him play.
Yeah, he was a stud. He was a stud. Yeah, like it was funny. I did see a couple jokes saying like he's already been traded to the Braves. Like it's already happened. It's already happened.
1% to the Braves Foundation.
But I think overall, I like this direction because also you look at the Braves outside of last year when they went with a lot of prep arms and stuff like that. They've had a lot of success going this route under Alex Anthopoulos. I mean, we talk about Elder, even Schuster, Spencer Strider. Obviously, they've had a lot of success developing, harnessing these guys' control, especially the big arms. I mean, especially the guys like Shaver and Spencer Strider. They've had a lot of success with those guys, and I think I like this direction. I feel like if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, you got to start preparing for the inevitable. I mean, looking at these guys down the road, 2 years down the road, I mean, Max Fried's out of here. I know we all hope he gets re-signed, but he's probably walking. We're not going to be able to pay it. We wouldn't pay him. So these college arms could, be fixtures in the rotation soon enough.
Yeah, and it's not just you wouldn't pay these guys. I mean, just look at what's happened this year with injuries. Like the guys, pitchers get injured. You're almost guaranteed to have a starter go down for a significant period almost every season. If you don't, you just hit the lottery of luck, success. So you can never have enough arms. I mean, just look at this season and the injuries that the Braves have had to go through. And they've luckily had enough arms because of all the guys that they've stockpiled, even the guys like Colby Allard that they traded for. Like those have been big additions, big moves, under the radar moves. You need 8, 9, 10 starters every season.
That was already a thing, pitcher injuries. And it's even more. I saw a stat that starter injuries have been up this year compared to every other year. And there's one constant, and it's that pitch clock. And it's not going to go away because it's great for baseball. So this, could become the norm. So, stockpiling pitchers is never a bad thing.
No, I really like the direction that the Braves went. I think Alex Anthopoulos nailed this, but we won't know for a few years. Coming up after the break, Pascal Siakam has been the heart and soul of debates in Hawks Twitter, but he says he doesn't want to play for the Hawks.